Good day, everyone. Hello, James Hearn speaking. Sounded like some sort of silly radio presenter then. Sorry about that. Today, I just wanted to follow up on like a recent theme in my videos in terms of being overwhelmed and frustrated with the business and going forward. I've now come through that. I'm really relieved to say. I mean, it was nothing really. It was just, it's just stuff you've got to deal with. It's things are not always going the way that you intend, and but there's always a reason for that. And I think to live through that sort of like stormy period and that contrast of things not working out is probably part of the process. We have to learn that. And there's always a lesson that we can take from it, and there is a lesson that I've learned from it. I don't know if it was a lesson I was supposed to have learned, but for me, what I've taken away is to have more faith in our abilities and capacities to just absorb information and achieve something that could come very naturally. I think we try very hard with these things, and we try too hard, and we become very mental and we overcomplicate it. I do anyway, certainly. And for me, I've taken something from it that's reminded me of a story that I'd like to share. If you wouldn't mind indulging me, you might find this really boring. I'll keep it brief, I promise. But it's relevant to my point that I'm trying to illustrate here. And the story is, we homeschool our daughter Molly, me and my wife. My wife does it full time, and we try where we can to mix with other homeschooling families that have been through this. So Molly gets the social sides, and it's a bit like a community. There's a community of homeschoolers. We join together and we help each other. Because there are difficult times when you feel isolated and you feel alone and you have lots of questions, and when you're on your own, those questions become more intense, and that's where the feelings of isolation and being lost come from. So it's so important to mix together, and we have this similar sort of vibe that you get within this community in your own business, and that you get a bit lost, you get in homeschooling. So that same mindset just follows you wherever you go. So it's really important to deal with it. But we have the same sort of feelings sometimes of being lost with homeschooling. Are we doing the right thing? Are we following the right person? Are we reading the right book? And really, it's none of that's that relevant. It's important to look at other knowledge and other people's experiences. But really, it's doing what feels right. And there's one story I wanted to share very quickly. There's a lady who's homeschooled 5 of her children, and she was telling us about how they learnt to read. And she tried to sit them down and teach them to read like you would in school, but it never worked. And because she was more of a feeling type person, she would leave it go, and she would concentrate on other areas of homeschooling, and just letting her children develop naturally, which is the idea of homeschooling. You're not forcing them to sit and be at a certain level at a certain age. And she actually told us that her children, and all of her children, I think, if not the majority of the 5, actually learnt to read on their own. So they never actually sat down and learned English and spelling. Obviously there was refinements to make as they went on, but she said there was one time her 8-year-old boy had a book in front of him, and she said, "Do you not want help? Do you want me to read that book to you?" And he said, "Mummy, I am reading it." And she was just like blown away that this boy had taught himself to read. I mean, obviously they read books together as a family, but she'd never actually taught him sentence syntax and grammar or spelling, or how to recognise words phonetically. His educational foundations were quite minimal, but yet he still taught himself to read, which I just think is amazing. And for me, that is like a point for me to sort of really to take on board in terms of what I'm feeling now, and that we have great capacities if we're open to them, to learn and take on information and grow as people. I think it's something that actually comes very naturally to a human being, but it's our mindset and our limitations that get in the way of that. And this boy and this family are a testament to that. They don't need to go through the system of schooling to learn to read, and that's quite a big jump for some people. I'm not expecting everyone to be on board with that, but she was very genuine. Her story was real, and it just made me think. I can apply that same belief and faith in myself to this business. I just need to get out of the way and allow it, because, you know, our abilities and capacities are already there. It's the mindset that restricts us. Anyway, going on a bit long now, but I just wanted to share that with you. And I'm sort of through the stormy period. I have greater clarity today. Going forward, I promise myself I have more faith in myself to allow this to happen. Anyway, have a great day, and look forward to all your videos, and speak to you all soon.